So hello everybody, my name is Piotr. Today we're going to work on this Manowar Demolition guy. I've been painting a unit of them lately, but I still haven't finished, and I figured out that since I'm going on vacation soon, that we won't start anything from start to finish until the end of September or the second half. Plus I won't have the equipment during the World Team Championships in Warsaw. So I decided that today I will show you how I tend to paint the so-called more or less glow effects in an easy and not really demanding manner on this ice Maul. So we're going to take care of these two parts, so the front and the back of the Maul. And if we have some time left, and while we will be waiting for the wash to dry, we'll probably take care of maybe the metal. Probably this part can be dry brushed because it's quite easily accessible and won't do much damage to the other parts of the miniature, so we won't go with the let's call it fairy dust on the other parts. Yes, so there will be no metallic parts from the dry brushing left on the other parts of the miniature that we don't want to where we don't want to have them. So okay, let's start. We'll start with the base coat of this little paint, so Arcane Blue from P3, and I really like to use this for the base of the glow effects. And why are we using blues as the color of the Maul itself? Well, basically these guys have a critical freeze on the ice Maul, so if you're not immune to cold, you'll get stationary for one round. Of course it's shakeable, so not a big problem. But if they hit you and get a crit and you are stationary, they get an additional die on the damage. So as I am playing the local journeyman league using Khador recently, I added them to my social one list, and yeah, they can do miracles during the feat turn, but on the other hand, to do them they have to reach their targets and it's actually not so easy when it comes to playing, for example, against anyone. Anyway, this is some grumpy old man talking. Let's start painting this wonderful weapon. Maul itself is quite nice since it has a range of 2. It has a decent reach. Thanks God, because our Manowar guys can only walk the distance of 4 inches, run 8, so they charge 9. Not so great, but if you manage to deliver them, they actually hit like a truck. So with armor 16, sadly defense 10, they are really easy to hit, but 8 points of life, or 8 damage boxes, however you want to call it. They are quite easy to kill, actually, most of the times, especially that you hit them without a problem, so you boost the damage, and usually the boosted damage is enough to kill them. So the speed, in my humble opinion of a newbie, is their main weakness. So, still thinking, because this week's journeyman I couldn't play because there were not enough guys coming to our journeyman league meeting. So there were only 3 of us, and 2 guys were in a hurry, so they got to play. I just sat and watched how they are doing. However, since I'm playing on the Mark II starter set for the course of the league, so we're having Sorcerer 1, Juggernaut and Destroyer. For the 15 points I added these guys, and just a reminder we're playing the slower version of the league. So actually we will end the game. We will end in 2 weeks' time with only 30 points. So on 50 points I added these guys just to have a unit, and actually I had them physically, so I managed to paint them up to this point, so they are not looking too bad right now. I still need to do some highlights on the gold and on the silver, but we'll probably manage to do this in today if time allows. So when it comes to the 30 points level, I was thinking of either getting the second unit of Mana Wars and go for the armored core, because I have another unit of them, of shock troopers, so maybe I could add them to the mix, and if not, I can go with no team when it comes to the models I have available. The guy with 2 shields, I don't know how it's called, it's not, I believe it's the Devastator, so I can add this jack, so a third heavy jack, and I figured out maybe a Winter Guard artillery captain to boost the rats on the Destroyer, just for fun. These leagues are supposed to be fun. So that's the one option, and the second option is getting the shock troopers. Sadly, I don't have the officer to add to the unit as a free solo. Shock troopers with assault. Why not? Can cancel SF sometimes. Plus it's an advanced move, if I remember correctly, for 1 unit of Mana War. Oh, no, that would be really nice. But time will tell, we shall see. if I'll be lazy or not, because I have the Demolisher, no, Devastator, almost painted, and the Winter Guard artillery cap is actually undercoated, so I would have to build the shock troopers, and since I don't have the officer and I'm not planning on buying one soon, I don't know. Still, on the other hand, we can add a third heavy jack with a decent armor, at least when it's not fighting. So armor 23. Not bad at all for a journeyman. League. Can be a pain to kill. On the other hand, it's only one heavy jack. Only. Quotation marks. And we can have a whole unit of 5 guys that probably saw a jack when they were young, and it was something like, mommy, I want to be a jack in the future. So they became man wars. Of course, it has something to do with the limited ability to produce cortexes by Khador. So they had to invent a living light jack with a speed of a normal jack. Normal meaning heavy. But it's a really nice unit, and I actually like the scouts. We can make fun, but it's cool. As you can see, they are not totally perfect when it comes to the armor, but I've been buying them second hand, so to say, and actually I was stripping the paint from them, and it was a pain in the arse, because the undercoat, I don't know what it was, but it was almost impossible to clean it off. So there were spots of the paint left, and sadly it's visible now on the miniature with the fresh coat of paint. Okay, so we have the base coat for the Ice Maul weapon, and now we will take Sotek green from Citadel, and we will create a wash of this color and wash over the weapon. Just because we can and we want to. There are some nice parts there for the wash to settle in. We can go over the copper a little bit. So to add to the glow effect. Of course, it's a very damn it. It's very nice of me to call it a glow effect, but it's really not that bad. Okay. Have some water. Add it to the mix. So, that's it. Okay, this seems quite nice. So yeah, it's really runny. So let's take an older brush and apply it to the Maul. Too much. So use the bristles as a sponge if you have too much, and this too much is really too much. Like over here. Okay. Once the wash is dry, we will go with I can add something more over here, over the metal joints. And once the wash is dry, we'll go with Arcane Blue once again, but only on the highlighted areas. So we will leave the wash in the recesses. So it gives a nice contrast. Once we're done with the whole highlighting part. So yeah. We can go a little bit over here and over here, because why not? Places. Sorry, I believe you couldn't see anything. I'm just going over the bronze parts in some places. Close. Okay. So, we'll give this a few minutes to dry. Because why not? Okay, we can get rid of this. Okay. While we wait for the wash to dry, we can dry brush the haft of the weapon and his gloves, metal gloves, or however you want to call them. We'll take care of we'll take care of this task with Citadel Iron Breaker. Shouldn't take long, but the miniature will look better already. After these few steps, clean the brush from the paint as much as you can. And okay, so let's get it on. Okay, so something over here. So his cute mechanical feet and the back with this some joints, or I don't know how to call it. So we have the boiler over here. So let's give it some love. This is the part where the light would probably shine. Can do it with the smokestacks and these various contraptions over here. So dry brushing is a really fast and simple method of doing stuff. Look better, making stuff look better. Actually, god damn it, I'm speaking like a pleb. Okay, so first layer of dry brushing is done. Then we'll use Runefang Steel, but a very light dry brush with this color, not too much. Because this is Khador, dirty barbarians from the north. Spoke like a true Signal player. So just a little bit here. Alright. And we're done with the dry brushing. We're not going to wait any longer for the wash to dry. It already be so with the low humidity and the temperatures over here lately. Okay, so let's take Arcane Blue once again and try to follow these lines. I don't know, cells or whatever of energy. Of the Maul, leaving the shade in the recesses. So it's something more or less like this. I don't know if you can see this when it comes to this part that I've painted, so over here and over here. It's a little bit of precision work, so to say, but it's not that scary. You can overbrush it, actually, even so. The paint is not so thin, not much on the bristle, and you just get something more or less like this. Almost like dry brushing, but not really. Okay. And the center part, we want to leave. We want to just highlight the center, leaving all this other parts as they are, so washed, because I assume the energy will accumulate in the middle of the hammer, also the Maul. Okay, so let's start from the back over here. Alright. More or less we've achieved what we wanted. Okay, and now more of these cells. So we want them highlighted nicely. Okay. All right. We could cheat over here because actually it's almost not that someone is going to see this part of the miniature, but we won't. However, a friend of mine from the code blogspot that PL once told me that when I was at the beginning of my painting journey, that why stress on stuff that you normally don't see on a miniature? So if you want to speed paint something or don't actually want to focus your attention on the stuff that is not normally visible, just don't do it. It saves time and energy. And actually, it's really good advice. Alright. So, we've got the first highlight done on this guy. Now we'll add some we'll add some white scar. So this color. from Citadel to our Arcane Blue. Not much, just a little bit to make it even brighter, but not too bright because we want to highlight it at steps. Alright, and we highlight once more, but the area that we cover is smaller than previous one, so we're focusing on this area in the middle more. So it's getting brighter and brighter, as you can see in the camera. When it comes to the cells, we also focus more on the middle of the cell. Okay. Can overbrush now the middle. Alright, so one side is done. Let's go for the other one. Oh, maybe we'll do the middle first. Because then we'll forget. And believe me, it's possible with me to forget such a thing. And the downside. Of this method is that it takes a little bit of time, actually. However, when you sometimes see some really sophisticated painting glow tutorials, this is really fast. I painted up my second Storm Strider using this method, and it went really I don't know, maybe 30 minutes for all the coils, maybe 1 hour including the waiting for the wash to dry, but then I was painting something else, so time saved anyway. Okay, and the middle of the Maul. Alright. So, now That's a little bit more of white scar to our mix. So it's really starting to be very bright. Let's do it. The area that we are covering is, especially on the cells, is really small. It's almost like painting small, almost white dots on this, in the middle of these cells. And I must say it's really nice and simple. Of course, it's not something you would do for a painting competition, but if you want to begin painting and these few simple tricks can really help you. Okay, so to brighten up a little bit, and look how these cells look already. Yeah. So we have the glow, more or less. So now, spot in the middle. And a few small dots in the middle of these cells. Okay, it's a little bit dull comparing to the back side. But actually, I consider these lighting effects done when it comes to the small. It's bright. We added some, almost not visible on the camera, but we added some shade or glow of this, I don't know, what is it, some ice force or whatever. I would have to look it up in the War Machine command book. when it comes to Khador command book, and so the power from the Maul, so to say, interlaps on this copper joints of the Maul, and we went from simple Arcane Blue from P3, then created a wash of Sotek green, and then went again with the Arcane Blue and 2 highlights with adding more white color into the mix. And this is what we have achieved. I've got 4 more guys to do, but actually I showed you what I wanted to show you today. I hope you liked it. Of course, thanks for watching, and please visit www.warroom.pl for more great War Machine and Horse contacts. Make sure to check them out during the World Team Championships in Warsaw, because they'll be streaming, I believe, all of the games that will be played during the events. I believe that the stream schedule starts on Friday and of course ends on Sunday. And apart from that, you can also visit my blog www.malefigurkowo.blogspot.pl, where you can find the chosen of the week from the War Machine and Hordes community summaries and some painting stuff when it comes mostly to War Machine. So once again, thanks for watching and see you next week.